is paying for it.
This as the U.S. Special Envoy Keith Kellogg visits Ukraine today, holding talks with President Volodymyr Zelensky, who just said they were productive. China might not like this, but the U.S. and 18 other countries are playing war games in Australia, the biggest joint military drills there ever. They're in mourning in Massachusetts, where a fire ripped through an assisted living facility last night, killing 9 people, injuring dozens more. Fall River Fire Chief Jeffrey Bacon says it could have been worse.
The police department, fire department, and EMS were able to enact dozens of rescues to save multiple lives.
3 people, including a state trooper, recovering in Lexington, Kentucky, the day after a gunman fled a traffic stop, stole a car, then drove to a church and shot 2 women dead and wounded 2 others until police killed him. More heavy rain, more flooding in Texas, but nothing like the disaster more than a week ago in the Kerrville area, where Fox Weather's Katie Byrne reports.
Mandatory evacuations about 80 miles north of us, with rivers and creeks once again rising quickly. Texas Governor Greg Abbott confirmed dozens of Texans were rescued in the Lampasas area there. By yesterday afternoon, though, crews here were told they could resume the search for so many still missing from last weekend's flash flooding that claimed the lives of 129 people. That search is still happening in miles of riverbanks and in the water.
America's listening to Fox News.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock, because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
No one wants to leave behind stress for their family. That's why a trust or a will is so important. Without one, your assets might go to the wrong people or leave out loved ones. Also, probate is long, expensive, and often avoidable with a revocable trust. Trustandwill.com makes it simple to create a personalized estate plan. A trust or will provides clarity and peace of mind. Get 20% off on your estate plan documents by visiting trustandwill.com/radio.
Now, the controversy simmers over that devastating Texas flooding, into what kind of local warnings or notifications went out, and into the federal response and allegations of thousands of unanswered calls. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is pushing back.
Secretary Noem was critical of the New York Times report that found only about 16% of calls to FEMA were answered on July 7th, days after the deadly flooding. The contractors at the phone banks were laid off July 5th, when that contract expired. On NBC's Meet the Press, Secretary Noem said those phone banks were staffed.
These contracts were in place and those people were in those call centers and they were picking up the phone and answering these calls from these individuals. So that report needs to be validified. I'm not certain it's accurate.
Noem praised President Trump for the response in Texas and said any criticism is an attempt to politicize the tragedy. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Now back to the president. He spoke to reporters about Ukraine and other issues. 1 year to the day after surviving an assassination attempt.
God was protecting me. Maybe because God wanted to see our country do better.
2 reports from the Senate and Government Accountability Office blame Secret Service for errors and planning mistakes and communications failures at that Trump campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. The gunman was killed after grazing the president's ear and shooting 3 other people in the crowd. 1 died. President Trump will make history in September.
No U.S. president has ever been invited for a second state visit to the U.K. That is, until now. The historic trip will take place between September 17th and 19th. King Charles and Queen Camilla will host President Trump and the First Lady at Windsor Castle to the west of London.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. The first Trump Britain state visit was when he was president in 2019. On Wall Street, stock futures are down before this week's trading starts. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
News Talk 710 KURV, broadcasting from the Valley's All-American Truck Headquarters studio at PayneAutomall.com.
Happy Monday. It is July 14th, 2025. You're in tune with the Valley's Morning News, News Talk 710 KURV. Also online, Facebook, X, Facebook Live, especially 7 o'clock hour Central, 710 KURV. Show producer Fred Cruz. I'm Sergio Sanchez. We got Jeffrey today again. AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine on standby. U.S. Customs Border Protection is planning a memorial service to honor one of their own, 38-year-old Eric Cespedes died late last week. Officials say that Cespedes ran into the water at South Padre Island after saying that his children were caught in a rip current. Bystanders were able to pull the children to safety, but Cespedes died after he got caught in that rip current. He drowned. He was pronounced dead at a local hospital. Cespedes served with Border Patrol for 17 years. In Central Texas, rain bringing more flooding to Central Texas. Still reeling from that deadly 4th of July weekend flood. Governor Greg Abbott saying that water rescues had been conducted this past weekend in 3 Central Texas counties. They were under evacuation orders as well. The 4th of July weekend floods have killed at least 130 people and dozens more are missing. And now an update on that Central Texas flood disaster. According to a new study, federal regulators repeatedly granted appeals to remove that now infamous Camp Mystic and buildings from Camp Mystic, remove them from a 100-year flood map.
Granting the appeals loosened oversight as the camp operated and expanded in a dangerous floodplain, a review by the Associated Press finds. The Federal Emergency Management Agency included the prestigious girls' summer camp in a special flood hazard area in its national flood insurance map for Kerr County in 2011. In 2013, FEMA amended the county's flood map to remove 15 of the camp's buildings from the hazard area. After further appeals, FEMA removed 15 more Camp Mystic structures in 2019 and 2020 from the designation. The flood on July 4th was far more severe than the 100-year event envisioned by FEMA.
That's John Mark Dempsey with that report, and the White House defending President Trump's newly unveiled tariffs on the European Union and Mexico.
Appearing on ABC's This Week, National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett said these tariffs are putting the nation's interests first.
The message we're all trying to get across is this is about America getting itself ready for the golden age by getting our house in order, by getting our tariff and trade policy and tax policy exactly where it needs to be.
Trump unveiled the plan to place a 30% tariff rate on each country starting August 1st in weekend posts on Truth Social. The move follows last week's announcement that the president plans to impose a 35% tariff on Canada for what he called its failure to cooperate on key issues, including reducing the flow of fentanyl into the U.S. I'm Mark Mayfield.
And coming up right after AccuWeather, some good news from the FDA. If you have a precious pooch, they have approved a first ever annual flea treatment for dogs. How do you get it? Well, we'll tell you right after AccuWeather. The time is 7:08. It's AccuWeather time. And big thank you to Dougie and all the gang over at Martin Farm and Ranch. Going to be a scorcher. Make sure your cattle have Purina liquid feed. See, my friend Dougie at Martin Farm and Ranch is a certified dealer for Purina feed. Meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine joining us this Monday morning. So do you see rain and showers in the forecast for this week, Bill?
I do not. Unfortunately, the next 10 days ahead are going to be relatively dry. Looks like there could be some moisture, mainly far to the west, but that's about it. We're not going to see any chances of rain until, well, probably the end of the month is when I'm seeing the next plausible chance.
All right. And anything for tropical coverage 2025? Anything for the Gulf Coast?
Let's take a look. I know we just updated an outlook for the western part of Florida all the way through Louisiana for the 15th through the 17th. That is a high risk for tropical development. And then the 21st through the 24th on the eastern side of Florida, going all the way up to almost Virginia. What we're going to be looking at is actually a medium risk of impacts from pretty much New Orleans all the way through Jacksonville down to Miami with a rain wind impact. Unfortunately, Texas still not seeing anything. Now, again, when I say that, I don't want to see something bad. We just want some rain.
Yeah. Well,
you laugh.
Yeah. Folks in Central Texas would disagree with me, but
yes, they will. No, of course.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, no, I got you. Although it seems that this summer has been a different type, a different summer, a bit more moist, maybe too much in some places. But northern Mexico seems to be on a different pattern at the moment, which is okay for the lake Okay, for the reservoir. Texas travel, are we good today, tomorrow? What's going on?
Today in Dallas, some heavy thunderstorms, mainly at first, is going to give way to clouds and sun, upper 80s. Houston, a thunder shower, maybe thunderstorm as we head throughout the day, temps in the low 90s. And then San Antonio, again, kind of a thunderstorm during the daytime, and then it clears out, and we're going to have a dry stretch for them, too.
All right, that's AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine. I joked about this on the FM news because we provide a little quick FM report for our Tejano station and Ultra 90.1. It is a National Nude Day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so take it all off. Definitely it's too hot around here. So take it all off and then enjoy some mac and cheese because it's also mac and cheese day. So
Yep.
Enjoy
and love mac and cheese that's breaded and with a little bit of chicken.
Oh, man.
Add some, what is it, panko?
Yeah, put some breadcrumbs in it, crunchy breadcrumbs and some chicken. Man, I am there. Now I know what's for dinner today. Thank you, pal. AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine on 710 KURV. We got our friend Sonny Hinojosa, who's our local water watcher for South Texas, former irrigation district director, taking a look at the water levels for the reservoir for South Texas, how much has gone in there, how much more could go in there. Hey, what's the status on Mexico paying back its water debt to the U.S.? Yeah, that's coming up at about 7:15, so join us for that conversation. As I mentioned, right before weather, the Food and Drug Administration has approved the first ever annual flea treatment for el perro, for your pooch. It's the Bravecto Quantum Shot, has been approved for dogs and puppies 6 months and older. Vaccination is an alternative to treatments that need to be given every month and must be given by the vet. Ford Motor Company has recorded more safety recalls in the first 6 months of 2025 than any car company ever has in their entire calendar year. Federal data showing that through the end of June, Ford had issued 88 safety recalls. Since 2020, Ford has reported the first and second most recalls in the auto industry. At 7:13 on the Valley's Morning News. YouTube is reworking its policy on what type of content can earn creators some money and what type of content will not.
The goal is to crack down on inauthentic content, including mass-produced and repetitive videos created with artificial intelligence. A page on YouTube's website says creators can only upload original material. The updated policy is expected to be released this coming Tuesday and detail what authentic content actually is. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
The time is 7:13 on News Talk 710 KURV, Valley's Morning News for a Monday. Again, Sonny Hinojosa, our Rio Grande Valley water advocate. Up next on the Valley's Morning News, status report on the water levels at the reservoir and how much water has Mexico paid back the U.S. on that huge water debt they have with us. That's next on the Valley's Morning News.
Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I can't think of a greater compliment for a business owner than to have a new customer stop you on the street, or in my case at church, and share with you what a pleasure it was to finally experience superb quality and extra exceptional service. Hi, this is Marty Moore from D&M Cleaners. This nice lady obviously didn't even mind the drive from Weslaco to McAllen. You know, we really aren't a cleaners for everyone, just those who care about the way they look. Maybe now it's time for you to step up to D&M Cleaners, Barr, McAllen, and Edinburgh.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
The voice of the next generation of conservatives.
The Charlie Kirk Show, weeknights at 8 on News Talk 710 KURV, KURV.com, and on the Radio Potomac app.
You're in tune with the Valley's Morning News. This is News Talk 710 KURV. This is your go-to station in South Texas. In the event we get a hurricane, so tropical system headed this way. It's Tropical Coverage 2025, and it's made possible by McAfee Insurance, Lee's Pharmacy, and Mike's Plumbing, Electrical, and AC. Let's pivot over to our friend, Sonny Hinojosa. He's a former irrigation district manager and very involved in water planning and water issues for South Texas. Sonny, welcome back to South Texas as our water advocate, looking at the Mexican water debt. So how are they doing, Sonny? How much has Mexico paid back the U.S. as far as that agreement is back? Good morning.
Since the end of April, our new administration has put a lot of pressure on Mexico. So since then, they've made 3 transfers. The first one was kind of substantial. It was 56,750 acre feet. And since then, they've made 2 smaller transfers. And these are water that's in Amistad Reservoir. So combined, it's just a little under 73,000 acre feet that Mexico has transferred to the United States. It's water that's already in storage. They just changed the ownership of it from Mexico to the United States. But still, Mexico's very, very much behind in their deliveries, just shy of 1 million acre feet. And the current cycle ends October 25th of this year. So, that's just a couple of months away. And, barring a tropical system that dumps a lot of rain, there's no way Mexico's going to deliver that water. They don't have it anymore. So it appears, unless some kind of abnormal storm event fills conservation capacity, Mexico will roll this deficit into the next 5-year cycle, and there'll be a debt at that point.
Is there a way to properly gauge how much water they're holding? Because northern Mexico my understanding is northern Mexico has been wetter of late, wetter compared to the previous year. So they must be holding water, and I bet you we could probably, twist an arm and say, you got it, you better deliver it now before the end of the cycle.
They have gained some water, from their low point. This is just back in August. I say August. It was of last year. Their low point was 766,000 acre feet that they had in storage in those 6 tributaries that we're entitled to receive flows from. And since then, now they're 896,000. So they've gained 130,000 acre feet in those reservoirs. But it's 130,000 acre feet. Right now, we get half of that water. Should it be transferred? But Mexico's not going to transfer that water. They don't have to do anything until the cycle ends. And even then, they can roll the debt into the next 5 years.
Well, understood. It seems that we have friends in D.C. now that we can pick up the phone and call, right? So I'm wondering if this is putting on us maybe some pressure to go ahead and make that phone call and say, Mr. President, the water's there. And I know you're talking about trade and tariffs with Mexico right now. How about you roll everything up right now before you try to renegotiate the U.S. Mexico-Canada treaty, if Canada's going to be involved in that. Anyway, this might be the time because they have it, or they might have it because of the rainier season they have it in Mexico.
They have a little bit more water than they have had. And yes, you're right. The new administration has had a tremendous positive impact on our relations, with Mexico. And later on this week, I think Thursday, there's a binational meeting between U.S. and Mexico, and we'll see what develops. Mexico's supposed to update and give a projection of more water that they could transfer to the United States.
Last time you and I spoke, we were at around, I think, just slightly over 20% U.S. ownership at the reservoir. Has it improved any? It's been a while since you and I spoke, a few weeks.
Yes. We're currently sitting at 23.38%. And that's the report, as of July 5th. Now, since then, we've had pretty substantial inflows, and I've been, tracking this daily, and we've gained a little over 5 feet, 5.25 feet at Amistad, and which is 120,000 acre feet. Now, hopefully we get at least half of that, so we can count on that 60,000 acre feet, add it to our current storage, and that'll take us over 800,000 acre feet, which we haven't seen, since 2023. So it should take us up to about 25% ownership It's still, a long ways from being comfortable, but we're on a positive trend. And then with the recent localized rains, it's taking the pressure off of irrigation, which there isn't much anyway, because our row crops have been harvested and we still haven't started planting vegetables. So we're kind of in a little bit of a lull right now.
Any vegetable planting depends on Rio Grande water, or is that mostly inland?
No, it's all dependent on Rio Grande water.
Okay.
Yes,
So
that's our only source.
if you look at the number, to say that we're at 23% storage or U.S. ownership, that's pretty good compared to the scary numbers that we were in the upper teens a few weeks back. But still, we're less than one fourth, less than a quarter percent of the capacity that we could have, and we are still in crisis mode in a hot summer with evaporation.
We need to be at 40% ownership for us to have a year's supply worth of water for agriculture. So we need to be at 40, and we're only going to be at 25, hopefully about this time next week.
Okay. Sonny Hinojosa, our Rio Grande Valley water advocate, he very, very much involved in water storage and water preservation efforts with the Region M group as well. The legislature just finished, and they promised like billions and billions of dollars in helping us retain some of this water or help with water issues. Want to get your grade on the legislature, how they did, and what can we expect in your future? How do we access some of that money, and what do we use it for?
Well, as far on the state level, the money is available for municipal, new water, or for aging infrastructure, but it's all geared towards municipal use. It's the money that's available for agricultural improvements for our conveyance system. It's just not there on the state level. We have to rely on the federal government for that.
Is there any help for us to, line the canals or put something in pipes or do whatever we can or water desal, things like that?
Yeah, not through the state, but through federal there is.
Yeah. Is there any effort for that?
Yes. The money's there through Bureau of Reclamation. In fact, the NAD Bank as well is having an announcement later, I think the next month or so. And they've set aside something like $60 million just for irrigation infrastructure. So we're hoping that comes to fruition pretty soon. And that'll help because the federal money is 50% match. It's a grant. So if we can use the NAD Bank's money for the remaining 50%, that would be fantastic.
Sonny Hinojosa, a Rio Grande Valley water advocate, because of the clouds, because of the rain of late, I would imagine the evaporation rate of what we're holding is a bit better compared to other summers. Is it? Are you able to track something like that?
Yes. It hasn't been as hot yet. Now we still have the rest of July and August, but yeah, this is the time that we lose most of our water through evaporation. But it just hasn't been as it has in previous years because of the recent rains. There's been a lot of cloud cover in West Texas and Northwest Mexico, so that has helped a lot. And the recent rainfall we've had here in the valley that has kept us from having to request and release water from the reservoirs. So things are in a positive mode, and we just hope that they continue.
Of the $280 million block grant, I think that's what it was, 250, 280, something like that. 280. Who did it? Because that already came and went as far as applying for that money. So
yes.
Who benefited from that? What do you hear from folks in the industry?
It should be, the money hasn't been distributed yet, but the deadline came and went. So now we're waiting on the Texas. It's USDA money, and it's being funneled through the Texas Department of Agriculture. So the people that are supposed to benefit from it are the farmers, the people that were hurt by the absence of water, by the absence of Mexico delivering water to the United States.
Now,
that's the intent.
Yeah, that is restitution for people who lost everything. And how many growers did we lose as a result of not having the water with Mexico? Because I know some folks, they lost their crop, they get repaid for it. We already lost a sugar mill, for example, and that ain't coming back. Like, some people are going to get a big fat check because of the damages that they suffer, but that doesn't help the industry overall recover. And
no, it does not.
Right?
Yeah, and we appreciate the funding, but still, it's nothing compared to what a farmer would make had he had water and could grow a crop. It's just maybe help pay and offset some loan payments or something. But yeah, we need this to occur every year if we're short on water.
What's the long range plan then from Region M? I know you're involved in that group of local leadership and also industry folks. They're planning out water issues for South Texas in an economy that is growing and a population base that's growing. The cities and counties are demanding more water for the cities and the population, plus the industry, the growers and the industry that need to water. So what can you tell me from Region M right now as far as proposing some solutions?
Yeah, we're wrapping up. We operate in 5-year cycles, so we're wrapping up the fifth year of our plan. So we're going to submit it. We're submitting it to the state. But yeah, we plan. It's a rolling 50 years in the future, and we're looking out for the needs of our municipalities, our industry, agriculture, and the only industry that's going to be short on water is always agriculture, because we're the last ones on the list, to get water.
Okay.
Everything's dependent on the weather and inflows into the system. But the municipal, industrial, and domestic water, that's guaranteed into the reservoir system. Now, it doesn't mean that each city just has perpetual use of that water. They have to plan accordingly and either acquire rights or improve their system to conserve. But yeah, there's shortfalls that are being addressed, and everything is it's in order.
Sure. When can we expect that report from your group, that Region M group?
We meet next. There was a public comment period that occurred in June and July. So we meet, I think, next week or two, and finalize the plan and submit it to the state.
Okay. And from that, expecting that folks at environmental-minded folks or the ag department up in Austin, that they take action on your recommendation. That's what we're waiting for.
Yeah, once we get our public comments, then we incorporate our plan into the state water plan, and then that's available for comments as well. So, ours ends in 25, and the state water plan will be 2026. There's still opportunity for comments.
The final comment from, in a perfect world, what would you want the state of Texas to do to help us out? Specifically the industry that needs to continue working.
Yeah, I'd like to see more funding on the state level to at least to match our federal grant money. That would help tremendously. But the priority right now is potable water, municipal needs, and that's the focus.
You're chairman of that group right now, right, Sonny? Or
vice chair.
Or vice chair.
Jim Darling is the chair.
Oh, the mighty and powerful, yet merciful Jim Darling is still there.
Yes, sir. That's
right.
him.
Thank you, Sonny. Thanks for
You're
your
welcome.
report. Sonny Hinojosa, Rio Grande Valley water advocate. This is the Valley's Morning News on Newstalk 710 KURV. News, a service of Jay Gonzalez, injury attorney, is ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH. We're getting a better glimpse of the impact of that Hill Country flood.
So much rain fell on the 4th of July that it's helping the state inch out of a historic drought. State climatologist John Nielsen Gammon says that the Hill Country got half a year's worth of rain in just the past few weeks.
We've seen Canyon Lake increase by quite a bit, but it's still somewhat low.
But he says other parts of the state are still struggling. Near Del Rio, he says, rainfall is half of what they normally see. His latest numbers show that the total percentage of Texas that is in drought conditions is down to about 30%.
U.S. housing shortage is getting a new record at 4.7 million homes. A new report from Zillow, their estimations, the latest census data found that the nation's housing deficit grew by 159,000 homes in the year 2023, despite a home building surge over the past 5 years. Vacation renters likely wasting billions of dollars in food every single year. According to Waste Management, researchers projected an annual estimate of up to $2.3 billion worth of money that is spent on food that you leave in the mini fridge or at the hotel fridge that you didn't eat, but you just left behind. And I hate that. And I always do it. I always leave like a little pack of watermelon or a little sandwich inside the refrigerator. This is the Valley's Morning News on Newstalk 710 KURV, your station for Astros baseball. It is the All-Star break. When is the game? I forgot to ask you, Freddie. When is that All-Star game? That's tomorrow is the All-Star game. And then before the end of the week, we start the season again, right? Astros baseball on Friday is when we restart the broadcast. Your station for Astros baseball is Newstalk 710 KURV. Check of sports up next.
At Rivetta's Machinery in Donna, they're bringing the best deals on Coyote equipment to your job site, your farm, or your backyard. Right now, take advantage of 0% interest or up to $6,000 cash back on Coyote track loaders and skid steers. These are machines built for maximum performance no matter the task. But don't stop there. They're also offering fantastic savings on Coyote tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles. And whether you're hauling something, mowing, tackling other big jobs, Coyote has the equipment to help you get it done. If you're looking for great deals and great service from a team that treats you like family, look no further than Rivetta's Machinery and Coyote. Start your next project right. Visit Rivetta's Machinery in Donna or browse their deals when it suits you at mynewtractor.com. That's their website, mynewtractor.com. Rivetta's for the long haul. See dealer for full details.
Top commercial roofing pro in my life is my friend Dale Johnson. And in your life, because many of y'all through the years and the many years that I've represented Dale have made that phone call. You got your commercial roofing systems checked. Whatever patchwork you needed, he took care of. You guys still up and running. Congratulations. You called my friend Dale Johnson. My friend Dale represents Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing, and his stellar reputation has now gone up to the next level, multiple levels, because Dale at Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing, he represents a whole new package of expanded services and state-of-the-art technology for roof installation, commercial roofing system repair, and of course, it's in the name, the advanced waterproofing technology that you need to survive. You and your business and all your commercial side, you guys need for this tropical season. So why don't you call my friend Dale Johnson at Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing, get your properties inspected free, start that conversation, and get access to the leading edge technology for roof installation. If you're working on new projects or you need the current projects that you have repaired, maybe some patchwork, and of course the waterproofing technology that you need. Dale Johnson is at Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. Call him, text them now, 956-655-6178.
Tune in to the 956 Drive Home every Thursday afternoon starting at 5:07 for Dr. Rachel Gelman's Vision, a closer look at the health of your eyesight with board-certified and fellowship-trained ophthalmic surgeon Dr. Rachel Gelman on News Talk 710 KURV. Coming up after the Valley's Morning News, stay tuned for the Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez starting at 9, followed by the Dana Show with Dana Lash at 11 on News Talk 710 KURV, KURV.com, and on the Radio Parami app.
The 710 KURV Sports Desk is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
TSN Sports. The Texas Rangers get a 5-1 win over the Astros to clinch a series victory for Texas. Nathan Eovaldi pitches 7 2/3, giving up just 5 hits but only 1 run, but striking out 8. Marcus Semien collects his 250th career home run, and Adolis Garcia goes yard 2 to give Eovaldi the boost in the win. Hunter Brown gets the loss for the Astros, going 5 innings, giving up 5 hits, 4 earned runs, but striking out 8 in the loss. Isak Paredes and Jose Altuve go 2 for 4 in the loss Sunday, but both teams now have the All-Star break off before resuming action Friday. For Texas, they host Detroit, and the Astros are in Seattle. And also over the weekend, the Spurs, led by number 2 pick Dylan Harper, and the Mavs, led by number 1 pick Cooper Flagg, clash Saturday as San Antonio wins 76-69. Harper scores 15 in the win, while Flagg goes off for 31 in the loss. Both teams play Monday with the Mavs and Spurs at 5:30 and 7:30 p.m. respectively. Ross Slabinski, TSN Sports.
Let's start with baseball. The Red Sox, the hottest team in the league, beat the Rays for their 10th straight win. Reds took down the Rockies to give manager Terry Francona his 2,000th career win. Mariners swept the Tigers in Detroit. Tigers now taking a season-high 4-game slide into the All-Star break. Yannick Sinner beat Carlos Alcaraz in 4 sets to win his first Wimbledon title and 4th Grand Slam crown. That's sports. I'm Ron Moss.
AccuWeather says highs today should be mid to upper 90s. Chance of rain, well, not very good. Looks like it's going to be a dry week. Might be a dry rest of the month. I think Jeffrey Nordine has said we might see something towards the end of the month, but it's going to be a stretch of some pretty dry days down here. Not so much in Central Texas, though. Careful if you're traveling to Central Texas. We know how flash flooding works up there. Border Bridge wait times on 710 KURV. Headed back to McAllen. It's about 45 minutes, latest report. And driving back to Brownsville, it's about 30 minutes at the B&M Bridge, 10 to 15 at the other two. Los Indios, south of Harlingen, about 10 to 15. You're in tune with the Valley's Morning News. This is News Talk 710 KURV, business news, and a check of your money. That's next on 710 KURV. Also at Radio Para Mi. Download the free app.
Surprise leaks, power outages, or a busted AC on a 100-degree day? You don't need that stress. At Mike's Plumbing, Electrical, and AC, we've got you covered year-round with our Home Shield membership. You get priority service, exclusive discounts, annual system checkups, and real peace of mind. From clogged drains to flickering lights to keeping cool when it matters most, we're just a phone call away. Call Mighty Mike's today or visit callmightymike.com and ask about our Home Shield membership. Mighty Mike's, reliable, ready, right on time.
When eternity calls, you can't do anything about it. When the Lord says, that's it, punch out, you and I can't do anything about it. But that's why there are some financial instruments and tools that are available. I know you speak with financial planners about protecting your immediate family, your spouse, your kids. You do the same thing when it comes to life insurance, right? Things like that. Another very loving thing that I want to remind you of, on behalf of my friends Mark and Carla McCaleb, 60-plus years, a wonderful McCaleb family, pillars in our community, the McCaleb family for 60-plus years. And that time of loss, many times it is sudden and unexpected. Yeah, it's a shock. And Mark and Carla and the entire McCaleb family, they do such a wonderful job and loving on Valley families in during that time. But a reminder from them that there is a thing that you could do, like my mom and dad did years ago, many, many years ago. My mom and dad, they pre-planned and prepaid for that moment. And as an only son with all those tios and tias, aunts and uncles everywhere, and extended family coming in, yeah, all I had to do was just sit there and love on my family and be loved upon and not have to worry about all the long list of decisions that needed to be made and pay for this and pay for that. So why don't you do this for your family? Pre-plan and prepay. Call Carla McCaleb. Call her, text her. A McCaleb family member will come to you wherever you are in Brownsville, Harlingen, and McAllen, sit down with you, and let's get this list done, set up the prepay, and be done with it. Put it on the shelf and wait on the Lord. Carla McCaleb is at 956-650-2841.
If you're looking to improve your overall health and have a better quality of life, Dr. T's Primary Care is the place to go. If you feel tired or stressed or less motivated, if you're moody or if you have trouble sleeping, Dr. T's Primary Care will evaluate you and work with you to address your health concerns, including testosterone or menopause treatment, peptide treatment, IV vitamin infusions. Their licensed staff will take the time to listen to you and work with you to improve your overall health. Check out the website, drtsprimarycare.com. Give them a call in McAllen at 956-803-0058 in Harlingen, 956-368-5247.
Be listening to News Talk 710 KURV for your chance to win tickets to the Texas Hunters Expo 2025, July 18th through the 20th, the biggest expo in South Texas.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC, McAllen Mission.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. The European Union said it would extend its suspension of countermeasures to U.S. tariffs until early August and continue to press for a negotiated settlement as President Trump's administration demanded more concessions from trading partners. Trump said he would impose a 30% tariff on most imports from the EU and Mexico starting August 1st. Boeing has reached a settlement with a Canadian man whose wife and 3 children were killed in a deadly 2019 crash in Ethiopia, averting the first trial connected to the devastating event that led to a worldwide grounding of MAX jets. Terms of the deal were not disclosed publicly. Shares of Walgreens Boots Alliance have overwhelmingly approved the drugstore chain's $10 billion acquisition by private equity firm Sycamore. Walgreens shareholders will receive $11.45 per share from Sycamore Partners per the terms of the deal, first announced in March. Futures are slightly lower. Friday, the Dow Industrials lost 279, the NASDAQ down 45. That's your money now.
AccuWeather says highs today should be mid to upper 90s for us. Chance of rain? No, not good at all. Very, very low chance to today and the rest of the week, says AccuWeather. Right now, it's low 80s here at News Talk 710 KURV, or HQ in Mission, Texas, where Mission meets McAllen. At Taylor and Business 83. At Starbase, Brownsville, it's 80 degrees right now. Thank you much for joining us on the Valley's Morning News. We got Fox News coming up in 2 minutes. At Amigo Power Equipment, Edinburgh, JP and Jeff going to help you hook up with a great deal on versatile Kubota equipment that I know that you need at the ranch and at the lease. For example, the Kubota L-Series compact tractor, which is, by the way, the number one selling compact tractor in our country, the Z Series mowers, and the Sidekick utility vehicles that are all available at Amigo Power Equipment today. So right now, JP and Jeff can help you get some of this equipment. For example, the Select L2502 series for as low as $21,999 or $325 per month between now through September 30th. Now, you can go to the website, KubotaUSA.com, or look up the Amigo Power Equipment website as well and get more links and information to all this. Again, get the great deals that you expect, that you need right now on Kubota equipment, the Select L2502 series, as low as $21,999, $325 per month at Amigo Power Equipment in Edinburgh on Monte Cristo.
Hi there, my name is Tony Bolstead. My wife and I, Carol, own Sand Monsters. We'd like you to come on out and have fun. We've got a half-mile long track out here. It runs across about 3.5 acres. Have adult cars and kid cars, getting laps in, learning how to drive on the sand. And we also lease space to Redline Helicopters is one of our tenants here, and they've got a pad and they do helicopter tours. Lone Star National Bank and the team there really helped us get this thing put together, answered all our questions, huge help.
I am Stephanie Harrison. I am the second generation owner of Sisters Interiors on South Padre Island. We had always dreamed of owning our own land and owning our own building, using our design team to create what you see here today. That's how we got involved with Lone Star National Bank. We partnered with them and they helped us, create the dream.
When guys like me separate from the military, we tried to move forward. But to truly move forward, we need to take care of our bodies and our minds. I finally understood that after I went to VA. I saw the difference it made to have providers who understood what I've been through and know how to help. I'm getting the highest quality health care at the lowest cost. And I'm telling every veteran I know that taking care of yourself is the strongest thing you can do. Get what you've earned. Visit choose.va.gov.
When you need Case Construction equipment, ASCO is your dealer. From compact track loaders to full-size excavators, Case Construction equipment delivers performance you can count on. And ASCO backs you with the expert service and support you need to keep you running all year round. Sales, rental, parts, service. We're on it at ASCO Equipment. Visit ASCOEQ.com or stop by your local ASCO today.
Information on your town and your community.
The Valley's Morning News.
News Talk 710 KURV.
Happy Monday and welcome to the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. I'm Sergio Sanchez along with show producer Fred Cruz, AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine. You and family, we start the day. Temperatures already low 80s across South Texas. Highs today should be in the upper 90s. News on 710 KURV, a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
Fox News, I'm Gianna Gelosi. President Trump is expected to make a major statement on Russia this morning.
The Russians keep getting more and more aggressive. So now President Trump is teasing a 1-2 punch to hit Putin where it hurts. Some new sanctions for Russia, some new weapons for Ukraine.
Fox's Peter Doocy. The president is going to meet with the NATO Secretary General this morning, and former President Joe Biden defending his use of the auto pen to grant a large batch of pardons and commutations at the end of his term in an interview with the New York Times.
The former president insisting that even though he didn't personally sign the final version of every official document, he made every decision on his own. He admits he did not approve each name he pardoned, but rather approved the criteria for a reduced sentence.
That's Fox's Ryan Schmelz. America's listening to Fox News.
The morning news on News Talk 710 KURV is also broadcasting at Radio Para Mi. Download that free app. An update on Central Texas flooding, that disaster. And according to a new study, federal regulators repeatedly granted appeals to remove Camp Mystic's buildings from a 100-year-old flood map.
Granting the appeals loosened oversight as the camp operated and expanded in a dangerous floodplain, a review by the Associated Press finds. The Federal Emergency Management Agency included the prestigious girls' summer camp in a special flood hazard area in its national flood insurance map for Kerr County in 2011. In 2013, FEMA amended the county's flood map to remove 15 of the camp's buildings from the hazard area. After further appeals, FEMA removed 15 more Camp Mystic structures in 2019 and 2020 from the designation. The flood on July 4th was far more severe than the 100-year event envisioned by FEMA.
That's reporter John Mark Dempsey. It's a labeling issue that has led to Ritz crackers and cookies being recalled. Packages containing peanut butter might be mislabeled as cheese. It's an allergy issue. You may want to check with Mondelez, the company that makes the Ritz product, to see what is being recalled. And House lawmakers are set to vote this week on a number of cryptocurrency bills.
Those include the Clarity Act, which looks to establish a regulatory framework for crypto asset markets, the Genius Act, which focuses on stable coins, a digital currency with value tied to a real-world asset, and the CBDC Surveillance State Act. That one would keep the Federal Reserve from coming out with its own digital currency in an effort to keep privacy and individual control over transactions. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
News Talk 710 KURV will be broadcasting my program, the Sergio Show, 9 to 11 tomorrow, right outside the offices of the National Weather Service office. We got conversations on tap with, as we lovingly refer to him, the most dangerous meteorologist in the region, Barry Goldsmith. He's one of the chiefs at the NWS. Also, Joe Bastardi, our friend, with an update from Weather Bell, local emergency management chiefs. It's a tropical season update. Of course, the update to the very rainy and very flood-prone season, it seems to be, as far as Texas weather. That's coming up tomorrow, 9 to 11 on 710 KURV. Big thank you to the San Rose Beach Resort and Beachside Olaf Bar and Grill for tomorrow's broadcast.
Improve your overall health and enjoy a better quality of life with Dr. T's Primary Care. You're trying to set some new weight goals. If you're too moody or stressed out or just tired and trying to get more sleep, Dr. T's Primary Care can help you with all of that and more. If you're worried about things like low testosterone, Dr. T is a primary care provider from the sniffles to the flu and also offer menopause treatment, peptide treatment, and IV vitamin infusions. McAllen area, call 956-803-0058 and in Harlingen, 956-368-5247. That's drt'sprimarycare.com.
You're hungry right now, aren't you? The way to satisfy this, don't be calling mom. Don't be calling a ma. Don't be calling your abuelita or your tia. Just go to El Pato. It is the same, the scrumptious, wonderful tasting, beautiful, wonderful smelling, fresh Mexican food, South Texas food. El Pato, waiting for you right now. Order up a bag full of hot breakfast tacos, those patos, the way that you want them right now. Get some chorizo, egg, potato, cheese, refried beans. Oh my goodness. You can just taste it right now, right? I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. Get a bag full of those delicious, fresh made breakfast tacos, breakfast patos right now. Every El Pato location. The big special right now for El Pato is the enchilada en fajita plate. the fajita pato plate, the 2 cheese or chicken enchiladas, plus the fresh flour tortilla filled with sizzling fajitas, the rice and bean, the drink. It's an amazing, only $9.99 at every single El Pato restaurant across South Texas.
L&F Distributors, Bert Ogden, Capital Farm Credit, and Spikes Ford present the 34th Annual Texas Hunters and Sportsmen's Expo at the McAllen Convention Center July 18th through 20th. 3 full days of over 275 exhibitors, including guides, boats, RVs, gears, hunts, and yes, fishing too. Whether you hunt, fish, camp, or just love the outdoors, you'll find it all at the Texas Hunters and Sportsmen's Expo. Plus live music daily, seminars, demos, giveaways, and special guests like world-famous angler Pedro Soares, host of Con Caña y Carete. And don't miss the live rattlesnake pit. It's the event of the year for hunters, anglers, and the outdoor lovers. Kids 12 and under free compliments of Academy Sports. Visit huntmcallen.com for more info. Brought to you by Cajun Cooling, Texas Tops, Extreme Outdoors, Land Rover San Juan, Eco Spa Hot Tubs, RV Station, Texas Wildlife Supply, and Valley Outdoor Power Equipment. July 18th through the 20th at the McAllen Convention Center. The Texas Hunters and Sportsmen's Expo, where traditions begin and memories last a lifetime.
You're listening to the mighty Rio Grande Valley's only News Talk station. News Talk 710 KURV.
Your 710 KURV AccuWeather forecast is going to be breezy with a mix of clouds and sun.
Summer is heating up, and so is our local economy. From sizzling business deals to community connections, News Talk 710 KURV and the Radio Potami app are here to keep you in the know. Download the Radio Potami app to stay informed and entertained. Whether it's local market updates, summer events, or the weather, we've got you covered. Support local, stay connected, and tune in to the pulse of Rio Grande Valley business. News Talk 710 KURV.